what's up, America? Vanguard. So we've talked about BlackRock being evil as shit. Now let's talk about the company Vanguard. So Vanguard is a $10 trillion equity and investment firm, only second to BlackRock. So they do the same shit where they buy a whole shitload of companies and then basically take control of them. And they're also the largest mutual fund provider in the United States. Now, that sounds all well and good, except them being unscrupulous like BlackRock. But, so how many of you know that their investments actually go to the Chinese Communist Party to fund some of their military? Yep, that's a thing. So let's take a look how Vanguard does it. By hook or by crook. So in one instance, Vanguard funded $46 million into the Aero Engineering Corps of China. So those investments were broken up into multiple subsidiaries, and those go to the People's Liberation Army. Because these investments that originally came from Vanguard are the largest provider of military engines to the People's Liberation Army of China and the Chinese Military Industrial Complex Company. Then here's another instance where Vanguard funds $44 million into the Aviation Industry Corporation of China. So then that money gets broken down into these subsidiary companies that Vanguard invested in. These are Chinese aviation companies. And then those investments, you guessed it, go to the People's Liberation Army as the leading provider of military aircraft to the PLA. So Vanguard invests here, and they take that investiture and they make military aircraft for the Chinese military. Oh, look, here's another one. $47 million by Vanguard into the China State Shipbuilding Corporation, instead of the United States, of course. So then that goes over here to the Chinese State Shipbuilding Corporation. You can see the money broken up there. And then, yep, you guessed it, that builds naval vessels for the People's Liberation Army of China. Vanguard investments to the Chinese military. So this is a list of companies that Vanguard has holdings in China, but they're denied access to sensitive U.S. technologies, so Vanguard just goes around it to fund them anyway. And of course, here's another list and what they do and the dates. Hey, how about Vanguard investing $47 million into the China National Nuclear Corporation? What do you think of that? And then, of course, that oversees China's nuclear weapons program. So is Vanguard inadvertently, or vertently, I guess you want to call it, funding China's nuclear weapons program? Look at that. Wow. Oh, here it is again, $28 million going to China Center Nuclear Power Group. And guess what they do? They do nuclear fuel producers for the Chinese Liberation Army. No way they're making uranium cakes for nuclear weapons, are they? Not at all. Not funded by Vanguard through these subsidiaries. That would never happen from an American company, nor be allowed ever, would it? So I could go on for a while talking about how Vanguard is in bed with the Chinese military, but you can see here for yourself. So is an American company, Vanguard, basically funding some of China's military that could be used against us and our allies later on? Well, from what I see here, in my opinion, abso-fucking-lutely. Fuck Vanguard.